A very good evening to everyone, and welcome to our third podcast in the series Interview with Elvis. I'm Agnes Dicus Rajesh, a corporate trainer, and your host, speaking to Elvis D'Silva, an esteemed corporate trainer and coach himself. Today, we are covering a very important topic, which is ROI, or Return on Investment, which measures the financial benefits gained from an investment relative to its cost. This is a very important aspect of every training. So let's listen in. Before we begin, welcome to the show, Elvis. How are you doing today?
Good evening, Agnes. Good, all good. How about you?
I'm doing great too, Elvis. Uh, okay, so let us introduce the topic. So, can you give a general understanding of ROI? What is ROI exactly? Why is it important?
Okay, so see, basically, ROI is return on investment, which it's a buzzword in the corporates and which every corporate is looking at because else, if there is no ROI, if there is no ROI, if there is no ROI on the trainings, it becomes only what do you say a cost. It becomes an expense to the organization. And therefore, every organization which is profit oriented, every organization is profit oriented. Whatever investments they make, they are always looking at some returns. And therefore, ROI in trainings is have the organization met its desired goal for which it has conducted the training? Has the pain been relieved? So that is what ROI means when it comes to corporate trainings.
Yeah. And why is it so crucial for an organization to measure this ROI?
See, we need to first understand that why are trainings being done. Okay, so trainings primarily are done to bring in some change
Mhm.
and change in order to meet, the desired output of the organization, which
Mhm.
can be different. Yeah, it can be sometimes it can be, uh, helping the employees grow in leadership. Sometimes it may be increasing their sale. Sometimes it may be, achieving some values in the employees, but primarily and basically, it is, to hit the numbers. So, for example, to speak in a very simple language, like say for an organization is at, 10 CR and it wants to go at 20 CR. So, what all
Right,
change does it have to make? What all things it has to, add on to become more productive? And
right.
this can be achieved by doing some kind of trainings for it
Okay.
to make the employees more competent when it
Mhm.
comes to skill set, when it comes to mindset. Yes. So that is it.
Okay, so I think this is also part of the key performance indicators, right? That the organization needs, which will be discussed with the trainer. So together create what the final ROI is going to be, isn't it?
Yeah, so key performance indicator basically serves as a raw data. So even before beginning the training, as a trainer, I need to know what are the key performance indicators of my
Mhm.
target audience, of the trainees, and what is the current state and what is the desired state. So where they are and where do they want to go. And
Okay.
so doing a gap analysis of this helps me to understand that what kind of trainings do I need to do and how many trainings do I need to do. So it is not always going to be, it is going to be a journey. It's going to be a journey of, taking them from their current state to the desired state. So KPI basically serves as a raw data in the TNA phase, in the training need analysis phase for a trainer, where he can, diagnose, where he can diagnose what is the current position of my target trainees. And in discussion with the stakeholders, with the HR, or maybe the plant head or the department head, he comes to know what is the desired state. So accordingly, he, develops his modules. Accordingly, he develops his training modules and conducts it. So post training, he can also do, a survey. Uh, he can meet the trainees, he can observe the performance in collaboration with the stakeholders to check if the needle has moved from the current state to the desired state and how much has it moved.
So can you walk us through an example? Like suppose if you
Mhm,
have been given a training in one
mhm,
organization,
mhm.
all right? So just take any example that you like and you have been given. How are you going to go through this to achieve your end result and a good ROI so that the client gets a good ROI?
Fine. So see, like let's take a very simple example of sales. For example, the company is not being able to close its sales. Okay. So for example, a company has a target of closing 100 sales in a month. Okay. And if its sales team is not achieving the target, yeah, if it's only making 60 sales, it's closing only 60 sales. So I plan to do a sales training for them. So I can plan maybe to do 4 trainings for them in a month. Yes, to equip them with the various competencies that they need when it comes to closing a sales, when it comes to pitching, yeah, when it comes to rapport building, when it comes to probing with the client. So this will give me a tangible number. Has the sales closing gone from 60 to 100? Yeah. And in order to do that, first need not only the numbers, but I also need to meet these sales personnel and understand the challenges that they face. Why are they not able to close the deal? Yeah. So as a trainer, I just not only speak with the sales head, I need to speak with the people who are working on the front line, who actually face the heat on the ground. So that will give me, a very relevant and a very realistic understanding of the challenges and how it can be then overcome through trainings.
Right.
And this would also require, like, just training and leaving is not enough. I would have to handhold them for some time. It would
Mm.
need some kind of counseling, some kind of coaching. So this, like as I said, it's not going to be only one training. It will be a series of training. And this is what I call as a retention model.
Mm.
So I suggest every trainer, I suggest every trainer to first understand the pain. Now the pain is basically what pain is that this is their current state and they want to go to this desired state. This gap is the pain. Okay. And in order to relieve that pain, I need to do some kind of trainings. So trainings is nothing but a treatment. It's a process of treatment. Yes, it's a process of treatment that I give in order to heal. Like, for example, it's like a patient and a doctor. A patient comes with a pain. His current state is that he's sick, but his desired state is that he wants to be healthy, right? So a doctor gives a prescription, and it's not just one tablet, yeah, and he's okay. No, it's a dose. It's a dose maybe of 3 days. It may be a dose, of maybe 4 days, 5 days. If he's still not okay, he comes to the doctor again, and the doctor says, okay, repeat the dose. Yes, repeat the dose in order to reach the desired state, that is to be healthy. And that is exactly the role of a trainer. A trainer needs to work very closely with the people he wants to train. Just meeting the stakeholder, just meeting the HR is not enough. I need to do a Gemba walk. I need to go and check with them on the ground. What is the actual difficulty that they are facing? And only then I will have a very authentic understanding of that will help me to give the real diagnosis that, oh, this is the exact pain. Yes.
Okay, that was wonderful. I mean, with so much, you explained it with so much clarity of how a trainer needs to work to achieve a very good ROI. So, now once the training is performed, let us look at the evaluation process. Okay, so
Mhm.
can you describe some methods of evaluation that can impact the training of the participants? So, this is where the response of the participants.
Okay. So see, based on the pain, based on the KPIs, we ourselves can, draw some criterias. Okay. So these are the criterias, these are the outcomes that I expect from this training. So as a trainer, when I design a model, when I design a module, a training module, before which I give a session plan. So session plan should have a very clear description of the two O's. That is the objective of the training and the output that is expected out of that training, which should align very well with the KPIs. Yes. So
Yeah.
the objective and the output desired should work parallelly with the KPI. And that is how, I can evaluate whether my training has been, successful or not. Or else, temporarily I can just expect three things. the immediate effect of the trainings can be CIB. CIB is change in behavior. Yes. Now, again, saying that it won't be a complete change, but a slight change maybe in behavior, because behavior is something which cannot change overnight. It's a process. Secondly, it can be a CIH, change in habit. Yes. So habit is a kind of a process. So maybe an employee was not following a process to get that desired output. And post training, he has made a commitment. He has decided an action plan that he is going to follow religiously. He is going to follow with a discipline in order to reach that output. So there can be a change in habit, which I call it as CIH. And the last is CIA. So what is CIA? CIA is change in attitude. Yes, change in attitude. So many a times employees or people do not follow a particular process. There is no change in behavior because something somewhere is missing with regards to the attitude. So as trainers, our role is also to, you know, uh, to target a change in attitude, a change in mindset, because that is what, brings in a change in habit. It brings a change in behavior. And when these two changes come, when a process is started being followed, the outputs follow. The outputs follow.
Right, right. So, as a trainer, would you be able to gauge this kind of changes in your participants by the end of the program? Is there any long-term process that you can, measure these changes in employee behavior or of the performance following a training program? Like, are you going to take some feedback, or how is it going?
See, if speaking as an external trainer, yeah, that is a little difficult. But if you're an internal trainer, if you're working as a trainer for an organization, yes, you are there 9 to 5, you are there every day 9 to 5, it becomes easy, right? But as an external trainer, you just come, maybe you have interventions. You're in a journey and you have interventions, maybe once a week, once in fortnight, once a month, right? So what, as an external trainer, what we can do is we can work very closely with the stakeholders, the main stakeholders. Now, who are the main stakeholders? The main stakeholders who are working with these trainees whom you have trained are the HR, it may be the plant head, it may be the department head. Okay, so post training, you can go and meet them and tell them that these were the pointers on which we were, targeting these particular outputs. So what do you feel? Are you observing some changes? Like for example, if it was on defect on productivity, have you noted any, reduction in defects? Yes. So this helps you guarantee an ROI, return on investment. So post trainings, you can have a follow-up. You can go and meet the trainees maybe once in fortnight, once in 30 days, once in 45 days. Yes. So that is what can be done.
That's wonderful. So now let us look at the financial considerations. Okay.
Hmm.
So, what costs should be considered when calculating the total investment in a training program? Okay.
Hmm.
And how do you can you quantify the beneficial benefits, the financial benefits from a training program?
Okay. So see, the cost, when we say what is the cost of a training program, the cost of the training program is not only, the money paid to the trainer. It's also the loss of the working man hours of the trainees. Yes, because that is the time when they are not going to be on the floor. So calculate that with their daily income divided by the salary or the number of days of the month. So all that goes into calculating the expense of the training. So say for example there are 10 trainees in your batch, and they are for the whole day with you, and their salary, say, like, let's, for an example, let's take it as 3 lakhs a month. So it's how much a day? If it is 3 lakhs a month, it is almost, say, 10,000, right? So 1 lakh is the, what do you say, the salary of that 10 employees who are in a training for the whole day. And say, supposing you are charging another lakh, so it's 2 lakh that is invested, right? So two lakhs is the investment. Now you need to compare it with what is the output that was expected. Yes. what was the output that was expected, which is very relative, which we cannot pinpoint. It depends now. Yes. So for example, if a company was looking at going from 10 lakhs to 20 lakhs, okay, just taking it in numbers. So 10 lakhs is the ROI that they were looking at after investing 2 lakhs. Yes, so five times of what they had invested, they were looking at as an ROI from this training program.
Okay. Okay, so actually, there's a whole lot of calculation that goes into understanding what a good ROI should be. I mean, I'm sure many trainers would think that it is just what is the cost to them, isn't it? They
Okay,
wouldn't think
right.
like what is the cost to the company. And in man hours that you just explained, like that was very good, good clarity there. Okay, so let's look at the challenges and solutions. Okay,
Mhm.
so what, according to you, are some common challenges that you faced when measuring ROI in a training?
So see, mostly what I do is I do behavioral trainings. Okay, it's leadership, it's team building, it's communication, and all this stuff, right? It's behavioral. And now when it comes to behavioral trainings are very abstract, right? It's not tangible. Like sales is very tangible, right? You can tell, okay, the sales was 10 and now it's 20. So it's very tangible, it's very countable. Yes. But when it comes to behavioral trainings, it is something very abstract. I cannot touch it and say, ha, now see, it was the behavior was at 10 and now it's at 20. But yes, the actual term that I could use here is not maybe ROI, but it could be ROE, return on expectations. So I expected maybe, the attrition to go down. So this can be calculated in numbers. Okay. The other thing, maybe what you can calculate is late comings. Okay. People were always coming late. So that too can be calculated. Yes. But say, for example, people are not taking leadership. People are not accountable. People are not taking ownership. Yes. This cannot be very tangibly said. Okay. Now it was, 5 and now it is 10. Yes. But we can see a realization, we can see a change in the behavior, a change in the habit, a change in the attitude. So those changes can be noted, which again you can come to know as an external trainer in being in contact with the stakeholders. So after the training, just as a follow-up, you just say, okay, I would like to come and say a hi to you and know how are the trainees faring. Yes, maybe you can just have a 10-minute chat with your trainees. How is everything going? What are challenges are they facing after the training? Are they able to implement what has been taught? So this also acts, as a very rich feedback for me as a trainer. So I just not only develop a module, go and deliver, but follow up gives a lot of input even for me for my future
Right,
trainings. For my
right.
future trainings, and it also helps me ensure that I give the ROI to my clients.
True. So actually, you ended up answering my next question itself.
Mhm.
Like, what is the role of feedback from the participants and the evaluation, and how it can improve the training programs in future? So I think what I understood is like after you get the feedback and you vet the trainers after the participants after the session, you can also improve upon what you are giving next, isn't it? What
Right.
you are improving the ROI yourself, isn't it?
Yes. So for
So,
example, like in one of the companies where I was doing a communication training, so this is now the sixth batch I'm doing for them for the same organization. Yes. So in the first two batches, even during the training and post training, I sat with them on the floor. I noted, I observed what are the challenges they're facing, and that helped me to modulate and adapt the third batch. I did the same thing with the third batch, and it helped me bring more adaptations in the fourth batch, in the fifth, and now the sixth. So the sixth batch is like, so what you say, so the module is become so robust. The module has been become so robust because it has evolved over time from batch 1 to batch 6. This happened only because of follow up and feedbacks. Yes, post training, I had a follow up. Okay. And also, I took some feedbacks from them. not only from the trainees, but also from the stakeholders, from the HR, from their team leads, yes, from the business head. And that is how it has helped me, to what is a filter the training content even further to the next level.
That's really commendable. I mean, it improves you as a trainer and it helps you to give maximum, uh, and the company also gets a great return
Right.
of whatever they've invested in. This is a fantastic example, Elvis. So, can you talk a little bit about the trends and future of ROI in training? Like, how has the
Mhm.
approach to measuring ROI in the world, in the training world, evolved over the years? Like, what is this approach? How is it happening?
So see, when it comes to ROI, it's not only about ROI, it's also about training need analysis. Yes, understanding the training need. So today it's going very organically, right? Most of the trainings, the TNA and the ROI is very organically done. It's just from some verbal communication. So what I do in my trainings, what I do, I have a scientific approach. I have a scientific approach. So I have a software, you know, which maps, which maps a person's capabilities, his competencies. I have a list of questionnaire which have been developed by psychologists and a team of doctors, and I offer this to my clients. I offer this to my clients. They just need to give a test, and it gives a very scientific result of where is this person when it comes to leadership on a scale of 1 to 10. Where is this person when it comes to stress management on a scale of 1 to 10? Where is this person when it comes to as a team builder on a scale of 1 to 10? So this can be done for each department. And I know which are the, if I want on leadership, so which are the four most people out of this group of 10 who really need a training on leadership? Who are the, uh, you know, 10 people out of this team of 50 who really need some training on stress management? So I need not do a training for everyone. Yes, I can do a training for only a select batch and only on select topics. So it's
Right.
not going to be generic anymore. It's going to be a very surgical strike. It's not going to be, a gun machine. It is going to be a sniper. You just hit one bullet and you're done. You don't need to waste your bullets. Yes. So this is, a very scientific approach which has been developed by my team. Yes, it's a scientific approach where we map the trainees. We map the trainees through a psychometric test. Through a
Okay.
psychometric test, yes. So that gives a very, very refined training need analysis. Very refined training need analysis. And now guess what? The same psychometric tool helps me to give them a very accurate and a scientific return on investment, because post training I do this test on them immediately after the training, or maybe 15 days, after 30 days, and I get a result in a very scientific manner. So this guy was, this trainee was on a scale of from 1 to 10 at 5, and now post training after 30 days he has gone to 8. Yes. So you get a very, very genuine, authentic scientific report. So this is the way forward. So right now, what is happening is all very, verbal. Oh,
Mm.
wow, the training was wonderful. And then you have some trainers also claim and say that, I went for a training and the organization was at 150 CR and I had a magical stick with me. And the next day, the company has gone to 300 CR. I feel all this is vague. We need to be very scientific. We need to give reports. We need to give reports. Look, before the training, this is the report. After the training, this is the report. So this is the way forward.
Yeah.
This is the way forward. Now, lastly, how does this help? So tomorrow, say you want to scale, your organization wants to scale, and you want to open a new plant. Now you are having an IJP, an internal job posting, where you are going to select employees from your current organization into new roles. How do you decide who is the person who can take the leadership? How do you decide who is the person who can take more stress? How do you decide who is the person who is really a team worker? Whom should I send to this new plant? who can be that person. This report will help you. You need not break your head. You need not do a guesswork. You have a very, very authentic scientific report that me as a trainer will give you.
That is so beautifully explained, Elvis. And I'm sure if a trainer follows these methods, he will be able to deliver an optimum training program. Okay. So we were talking about ROI, return on investment for the industry and for an established player. Now I'm going to ask you a little different kind of a question. So
Before that, Agnes, I'd just like to clear.
yeah,
Okay. ROI is more applicable if I'm in a retention model with the client, if I'm journeying with them, if I'm working as a consultant with them, right? So I can take a major portion of the cake of ROI and say, hey, the major credit goes to me because I have worked closely with you. I have helped you, define your policies. I have helped you define your KPIs, your KRAs. Yes. So then I can take a major portion of that cake of the ROI. But if I just go for 1 day training, yes, then I cannot have a very big claim that, uh, this is the ROI. Yeah, I have given this ROI. You may, but you will have a very small portion. Yes. So in retention model, where you're continuously, journeying with the client in this process of change, then you are entitled to take that larger credit. So ROI basically could be on a retention model. Retention model is where you journey with the client for 6 months or a year, maybe once in a fortnight or once a month training program, where you also have a follow-up, you have a feedback, you modulate, you adapt. Yes, you sit and observe your trainees. Are they really putting the training learnings into action? Yes, then you are really entitled to take that credit as a trainer.
yes, that was like intense, and I'm sure it's really valuable to
Mm-hmm.
follow for every trainer. So now I'm asking you a little different question.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, there are a lot of young and budding trainers who are also will be watching this program, aspirants, those who are aspiring. Now
Mm-hmm.
there is a question like how many courses should we do? So this is an ROI on yourself. How much
Mm-hmm.
should you invest on yourself by way of courses and attending, various paid sessions? So that is also a kind of ROI on a trainer to develop himself, right? So
Mm-hmm.
how far and how much should the trainer go?
See, more than money, I say that the trainer needs to invest more on efforts.
Mhm.
Efforts not only in doing courses and reading books. Yes, a trainer needs to put in efforts in going live on the field, observing some other trainers, shadowing them, himself, trying to conduct some sessions and learning from their own mistakes, what worked, what did not work. And one very big thing that trainers need to do, more than, you know, developing a training for a business, they need to understand the business for the training. I'll repeat, more than working on developing a training for a business, they need to understand the business first to develop a training module.
Right.
And most of us trainers lack that. We in isolation, we sit, maybe we read a very nice book. We go to GPT, we may go to even Google or YouTube and draw some stuff, bring some tools, fill it together, make a skeleton, put some tools, yes, fill in the flesh, go and deliver. Yeah, but the main thing is that we as trainers need to understand business. Go and meet the HRs. What are the problems, difficulties are they facing? Try and make it a point to meet the business heads. Try to understand their view. Every level has a different view. Yes, go to the business heads. They will give you a completely different view. Yeah, they will give you a satellite view that, this is the problems I'm facing. This is the market situation. Yes, this is my product. This is my service. This is how the business works. And then I will have a very mature understanding as a trainer. Okay, where do I hit to? where do I need to hit that hammer? Or I'll just be keeping hitting everywhere, and there are no results. When I understand the business, I am like that clever technician who just hits once and the problem is solved.
So wonderfully put, Elvis. So actually, you have given us a very good and clear picture of what ROI really is, and how it helps organization, and how to understand its effectiveness, and also the value of the training programs, and ensuring that resources are being utilized effectively and contributing to a company's success. So that was what we were talking about on ROI in a nutshell. To summarize, now, last but not the least, Elvis, I see that you have been posting the first page of your upcoming book, which is coming
Mhm.
out on the 4th of September. So, how far is it on, and can you give us a little gist about it?
Yes, the book is almost ready, and it is now in the final phase of, all the final touching, all the layout and all the formalities with the ISBN and formatting and all that stuff. So the book is basically going to be, I'm not revealing the name because that will be revealed just 1 week before the publishing, but it is for corporate leadership. It is, for the audience that is a corporate of the corporate leadership, the top management, the HRs, the plant heads, anyone who's into leadership roles. So this is a book that would be replacing my business card. So it will be a gift to my clients. And it's a very rich content for anyone who wants to understand. It will give a different perspective to corporate leadership, and it's going to be very interesting. Every word has been filtered. I have worked on every word of this book. It's a 12 chapter book, almost around 2 to 50 pages. And the date of publishing of this book is 8th of September.
8th of 4th.
Yeah, it was supposed to be 4th of September,
Mm-hmm.
but it's being published on my mom's first anniversary,
Uh-huh.
which being a Sunday, we are taking it on 8th of September.
Awesome.
Therefore, this book will get published on 8th.
Okay. So, really looking forward to holding that book one very soon, Elvis, and all the very best. And thank you so much for this insightful conversation. And I'm sure that many of our trainers who have been watching this series or who will watch it later on YouTube will get a great clarity on ROI. And with that, we'll be back again with yet another topic on another series of interview with Elvis. And with that, we sign off.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Agnes, for being a wonderful, an anchor host for this, and thank you to all the audience and viewers.